Right, so why do we care about hip stability? Well, it's weak hips, poor stability around the hips is actually quite a common source of endurance athlete injury. All right, because the way I've had it described to me is your hips are like your steering wheel, so they drive your direction of travel effectively. And probably most importantly, they dictate what goes on with your knees. So if you think about when you're planting your foot, when you're running, or when you're on the downstroke of your pedal action, whether that knee stays straight and you're allowed to deliver and you're able to deliver power directly through the lower limb is largely dictated by kind of the control you have up in your hips. Okay, so a lot of time you might find that people get knee injuries and they look directly at the source of pain, you know, what is going on there. Actually, the source is probably a little bit higher up. So when we're talking about hip stability, primarily talking about two muscle groups, so your abductors and your adductors. So your abductors are the muscles around the outside of your hips, and they're involved in abduction, so moving the leg away from the center of the body, and external rotation, so externally rotating your leg outwards. Your adductors, they move your leg towards the center, and they're also involved with internal rotation. So those two primary muscle groups, they're the key ones for making sure that your hips stay strong and that they can kind of guide your knee to track straight. It's something that we focus on a lot in our strength classes, in particular our strength and conditioning workshop. So if you need a little bit of guidance as to what types of exercises you need to be doing, our strength sessions are always a good source for that, because it's one of the primary things that we focus on. So we are talking things like clamshells, side lunges, anything really that throws in some sort of lateral component or some form of external rotation component. They're always really important, and it should definitely form a part of your strength plan. So that's why we care so much about hip stability. It's going to help prevent injury. It's also going to improve your running and cycling form, because you're simply able to deliver more power more directly. So there you go. That's why we care about hip stability.